going to. I'm slowing down.
What am I supposed to do now? Goodbye, Blackberry. I can't see you. I don't need you.
Hey, laddie. You gonna leave that there?
Sort him out, Ted.
Are you gonna move that lorry?
Oh, you in order then, are you?
I don't want to argue with you, laddie. And you certainly don't want to argue with me. Because I was never in a fight yet that I didn't win.
Move the lorry, Ted.
What's that all about?
Ah, something and nothing. Anyway, I was just on my way to see you, Claude.
Oh, what for?
I've got a dozen lambs for you. They'll fetch top whack.
Oh, what's wrong with them?
There's no wrong with them. Have a look at them yourself if you want. £4 a head.
£4? There's got to be something to with them.
Well, they're not my lambs. They're from Henley Farms down the valley. My cousin's the new farm manager there.
Ain't they? I thought they'd be dodgy.
No. Look, when he took over, he found that they had a few extra from this year's lambing, you see. As far as his company's concerned, those sheep don't exist. He sells them on to me, privately. It's a recognised perk. And it's all above board.
And there are fairies at the bottom of our garden. I tell you what, I give 40 quid for the lot.
Oh, come on, Claude.
All right, then, make it 35.
Let's leave it at 40.
You're a hard man.
Very good at that, are you?
What? You fancy you go, do you?
This used to be a lovely room. When young Katie had it.
Yeah, well, it's not exactly my style, is it, Alf?
I wonder what she's making of it all. A new life in Canada.
You heard from Nick, have you?
Oh, just a picture postcard with a maple leaf on the front to say they'd arrived. They seem to be doing all right.
I know you worked with him for a long time. You must miss him.
You get used to people. Take a tip from me, lad. Throw the stripper away. Get a nice big bucket of paint and cover the lodge.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
£5 on the dot.
Old habits, Corporal.
Hello, Sarge. It's good to see you.
You too, Oscar.
Look, Jim, like I said on the phone, I was really sorry to hear about...
I'd rather not talk about it if you don't mind, Oscar. I find I can cope better.
Of course. Well, I'll give you a hand.
Not much, Kit. You know me.
It's Claude Greengrass. I was just wondering, have you got the current livestock prices, Andy? Yeah, the lamb. Can you tell me how much is the new season lamb fetching? Is it? That's good news. No, that's it, mate. I'll see you in the arms. I'll let you buy me a drink. That is very rude. Ta-da.
Here. Happy retirement.
Oh, thanks. You remembered. Look, I thought we might go down to the pub in a bit, have a bite of supper.
Yeah, tell you the truth, Oscar, I'm a bit tired.
Oh, well, you must be. Look, just sort yourself out. I can easily rustle something up later on.
Hey, I don't you go to any trouble now.
It's no trouble. It's good to have you back. Nice to have a bit of company.
Excuse me, is this Aidensfield?
Yeah, last I heard.
Only, we're looking for a place to stay.
Aidensfield Arms does B&B. It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but, is it interesting?
Well, depends on what you're interested in, doesn't it?
Ornithology.
You don't look much like Twitchers to me.
We're not. We're biology students.
Biology? Really? Even better.
I don't know. I think we should move on. I'm sure we can make Ashfordley before dark.
Now, that is a boring place. Nothing of interest there.
Familiar with the local avian habitat then, are you?
Oh, yeah, pretty much. So, if you do decide to stay in the pub, I'll be over there later. Buy you a drink. Fill you in on it.
Honestly, Kath, he's probably in some motorcycle gang.
Yeah, with any luck.
Jim! Jim, are you out here?
Just needed a breath of air. You know me. I prefer it under the stars.
Are you all right?
Yeah. Yeah, fine, just a bit of a headache, that's all.
I'll get you an aspirin.
No, I've got some painkillers issued by the quack. Since Jean died, I know he calls them migraines or something. A lot of nonsense, really.
Come on, Jim. If there's something wrong, I can get you a doctor.
No, I'm best on my own. You go to bed, Oscar.
Michael?
Morning, Claude. What can I do you for?
Al Fentress said you might be in the market for a drop of paint.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, I've got some. It's emulsion. It's that magnolia white. But it's not really. It's more like pinky, creamish.
Fall off the back of a truck then, did it?
No, it's still on it. It's fire damage stock. And before you ask, I've got all the receipts. Somewhere.
If he's just lost his wife and nursed her through the whole thing, that's certainly enough stress to trigger off a bout of migraines. Is he a very old friend?
Oh, aye. We served in the Far East together. They didn't come much tougher than Jim.
I suppose wartime experiences can make you extremely close.
You know, he risked his life for me. I sometimes think if it weren't for him, I would never have survived.
Of course you would. Best spit and polished man in the regiment. Who might have guessed he'd turn into a copper?
Oh, this is Maggie Bolton, Jim.
Hello.
An angel of mercy.
Well, I don't know about that. I won't be if I don't get round to Mrs. Reynolds for a bed bath.
I'm off for a brisk walk. Always good mention.
Yes, it is. Enjoy yourself.
I'd go on a moors here and walk across to the next valley.
Well, that's a good idea. I could drive the car up and we could meet and have a pub lunch. Shall we say, what, 1 o'clock?
No such time, Corporal.
Oh, sorry, Sarge. 1300 hours.
Can you manage there, Claude?
I shouldn't be doing this at all with my back.
Oh, come on. The exercise will loosen you up a bit.
Then I'll loosen up full to bits.
Decorating? You are settling in, aren't you? Yeah. Just the upstairs. I don't think I'm ready for nursery paper just yet.
Mind you, I don't think it'll be long. We were getting very cosy with a girl in the pub last night.
What girl?
Is there anything in particular, Phil?
Well, yeah. Just been over to Henley Farms. They had a dozen sheep nicked a couple of nights ago. It's been a while since we've had any sheep rustling.
Sheep rustling? Sounds more like the Wild West.
Animals go missing all the time. It's a big issue round here. Livestock's worth a lot of money, ain't it, Claude?
Yeah. Anyway, I better get off and leave you to it.
Hey, Claude, anyone paying for the paint?
No, go on, son. I'll come back for it later. I've just remembered something.
Leaving without his money? What's he in such a hurry for?
I'll get my gear. I'll turn the car round.
Alfred! When you come on. Come on, Sheik. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Alfred! Come on. Get. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. That's it. That's it.
Taking up sheep farming, are we, Claude?
Don't you start. And before you ask, I bought them.
When?
Yesterday. Charlie Blunkett's cousin's a farm manager. He sold them to Charlie. I'll get Charlie 40 quid for them. And if you don't believe me, you can go and ask him.
OK. I think we should get Mr. Peterson here, see if he recognises his sheep.
Good thinking, Phil. Because they all look alike to me.
It's no good anybody trying to be straight with you lot about, is it?
That's right, Claude. No good.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Hey, come here, will you? Hey, go back that way.
You said you lost 12.
Yes. Here you go. Yeah, that's our mark.
Well, are you or are you not Charlie Blunkett's cousin?
He the culprit, is he?
Of course, he says he bought them from your cousin.
Unlikely. My cousin lives in Nottingham.
Do you know a Charlie Blunkett, Mr. Peterson?
Never heard of him. And by the way, we'll be pressing charges. Henley Farms is a big concern, but we have to keep a tight line on this sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, but it's got no to do. I bought them fair and square. I mean, if anybody nicked them, it's Charlie Blunkett and his lad.
Look, I haven't got time to argue. I presume I can take the sheep? I'll fetch my men.
Charge Greengrass with receiving, but I don't think he's stupid enough to buy sheep that have just been nicked from down the road.
Yeah, unless he thought he could get away with it.
Nah. Charlie Blunkett put one over on him. His son's been in trouble a few times too.
Well, they're not about to admit to sheep stealing then, are they?
Well, what do you suggest?
Well, my old governor at the Met reckoned it always paid to leave villains a bit of space to get aggravated with each other.
How do you mean?
Well, if Greengrass is telling the truth, well, then he's out of pocket, isn't he? He said he paid 40 quid for those sheep. Oh, no. Oh, no, no. I don't want her to see me.
Been a naughty boy, have we?
Well, not yet. And if she sees me in this uniform, I won't stand a chance. Look, she thinks I'm some sort of rocket. She's really into that now.
Afternoon, girls.
Oh, no.
Lovely day for a walk.
Mike?
How you doing, girls? Can't stop. See you in the pub about 7? Great. Phil, drive.
Jim. I've been looking for you all over the place. It's nearly 4 o'clock. You said 1.
Jean loved this spot, you know. We came here during our honeymoon in 1947. She talked about it a lot. She was even talking about it. I didn't think I'd be able to find it again. Sorry, I must have lost track.
Well, no harm has been done. I was just worried about you, that's all.
I keep looking for you, though. I thought she might have been here. I'm sorry, I've got to pull myself together. I keep saying to myself, you've been through worse, you've been through the war, but the war was nothing compared to this.
All right. Where is he?
Yeah.
Come on, Charlie. No point you hiding in there.
I wasn't hiding. What's up?
You know very well what's up. Peterson's been for his sheep, ain't he? And he's no more your cousin than the flaming Aga Khan. Not only have I got the law on my back, I'm 40 quid out of pocket.
Sheep, you say? Know anything about any sheep, Ted?
Stupid beasts. I hate them.
Don't come the old soldier with me. I want my money back.
Well, I'm sorry, Claude, but I don't know what you're talking about.
But if any of my mates at college found out I've been hanging out with a policeman...
Oh, come on, we're not all wooden tops, you know. Anyway, if any of my mates found out I was hanging out with a twitcher...
Ornithologist.
Yeah, exactly. Fancy another?
Yeah.
Look, they're digging, Gina.
How about those stolen sheep, Claude?
Don't even start.
Tell me again, please, Gina. So, spoken to your supplier, have you?
Look, if you're going to nick me, nick me. If not, I've had enough aggravation for one day.
Well, personally, I'm inclined to believe you.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
Well, but, you know, division, you know what it's like these days. They just want results. Convictions, Claude, convictions.
And I suppose, as usual, it's muggins in the frame, isn't it?
Well, not unless you can give me a viable alternative and the evidence to back it up.
You coppers are all twisted. I'm going down the Black Dog. The company's better.
He's got a point, Mike.
Oh, come on, I was just trying to help him out.
I wasn't talking about him.
Oh, come on, Gina. Just having a bit of fun.
Does she know that?
She's on holiday, and I'm part of the scenery.
Try a pint, right?
Yes, here you go.
Coming up.
I got it for me bird watching, so I could get some really good pictures to go with my features, but I'm actually really getting into photography itself.
Oh, yeah. Move over, David Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, give us a smile. That's nice. Hey, Gina, go on, give us a smile.
Give over, will ya?
You've got to hand it to these Japanese. They certainly make the best cameras, don't they?
What did you say?
What's that? Oh, it's all right, I'm just talking to my friend.
Oh, I asked you what you said.
Jim, let's sit down, shall we?
You may be too young to remember it, son, but there was a war. We fought the Japs, men died.
Yeah, right, and the war's over and done with, isn't it, mate?
Over and done with.
Jim, let's...
No,
these-
it's not over and done with.
All right, mate. I don't want to argue about it with you.
Well, you go out and buy Japanese cameras. You insult the memory of the men who fought and died. You put money in the pockets of those savages.
It's my camera, OK? I'm the one who's putting money in their pocket.
And you should be ashamed of yourself, young lady.
Well, I'm not.
It's all right, leave it, Kath.
The war was over more than 20 years ago, Grandad, and no one cares about your stupid heroics anymore. Why don't you just forget it?
No.
Hey,
I'm gonna forget it. I'm not gonna forget. Nobody forgets it. Are you listening to me?
Yeah. I'm listening. And you're under arrest. I'm sorry, Mr. Blaketon, but he didn't give me any choice.
You got to understand his feelings about the Japanese.
How was he?
He was just lying there.
When Singapore fell, the Japs took him prisoner. At the end of the war, he was like a skeleton. I hardly recognised him.
Couldn't you have a word with the lass and get her to drop the charge?
All right, then. So long as he apologises and pays for the camera.
I'll pay for the camera, if it's all that stupid girl wants.
Look, she's not responsible for what the Japanese did to her.
I know that.
Good. Right. I'm going to release you on bail for now.
I want to complain formally.
Jim, please, just listen.
Mr. Ryan, to you, laddie.
Mr. Ryan, you don't seem to appreciate the seriousness of the situation. You can't go around venting your anger at other people's expense.
Let the magistrate decide that, shall we? When you fought for your country, perhaps you'll have earned the right to express an opinion.
Look, I really don't want to argue about this.
We had cocksure little squirts like you in the regiment. I soon sorted them out.
Oh, I'm sure you did, but the war's over and I'm not in your regiment.
Before you take me on, laddie, bear this in mind. I was never in a fight yet I didn't win.
Yeah? What about the Japs? You didn't win there, did you? No. You needed a bomb and the Americans to do that for you. Or have you forgotten that?
I'm not apologising. We're still the forgotten army, you know.
I know, Jim. But nowadays, people buy radios and cameras. They don't think about where they come from. Times have changed.
Every night I see their faces. Hear them crying, pleading, dying. Every night.
You gotta let these things go, Jim.
Whose side are you on?
Here you go, Alf. Oh, Jack. Morning, Mr. Peterson.
Last night, I lost another dozen sheep. And this morning, I find that Greengrass still hasn't been arrested. I want to speak to someone in authority.
Oh, maybe I can help, sir. PC Ventris.
What, is this it? Well, no wonder this whole thing's a shambles.
Well, we judged it better to leave Greengrass where he was. He may eventually be charged with receiving stolen livestock, but we don't think he actually nicked them himself.
Really? And what if he was working with accomplices?
We are looking into it, Mr. Peterson.
I'll give you 2 days. And then I'm taking this up at a much higher level.
Told you you'd find note.
Well, it's been put to us that you and Charlie Blunkett were in it together.
Do me a favour, Alf.
I've only got your word for it.
Hang on. When Blunkett and his lad brought them sheep round, there were a bloke in a car. He had a right barney with Blunkett's lad. I mean, he'd be a witness, wouldn't he?
Well, he would be if you could identify him.
Well, he got a beard and he was wearing a flat cap.
Oh, that narrows it down to half of the North Riding.
Now, what about the car he was driving, Claude?
A Rover. A blue one. Yeah, it was a blue Rover. Look, if Blunkett has stolen some more sheep, he'll have taken them up on the moors, found a little holler somewhere, and he'll put a pen round it till he finds another mug.
Well, that's a very interesting theory, Claude. So what, you think you can find him, do you?
Don't talk daft. Could involve an area about 20 square miles.
Yeah, I thought so. Look, I'm just trying to help you out here, Claude. Because as I said last night, the pressure's on us from division. They want convictions.
You needn't have brought it personally, Oscar. Well, I wanted to have a word with you about a friend of mine who's staying with me.
Ah. I heard about the fracas in the pub last night.
Yeah. Village tittle-tattle, no doubt.
What's the real story, then?
Well, he got upset about a Japanese camera. He was a prisoner of war, you see. Survived the Burma Railway.
I see.
The thing is, I thought he'd got over it. I've never seen him lose his temper like that before. He's done well since the war. Good job. Nice family. But a month ago, his wife died.
Grief can trigger all sorts of things.
Does he ever talk about his experiences as a POW?
Well, he never mentioned it before last night. I'm worried about him. I think he might be, well, you know.
Cracking up?
Doesn't make sense, really. He's one of the toughest men I've ever met.
We all have our limits.
Well, I wondered if you would ever work with him.
I can try. Point him in the direction of some professional help.
Thanks. I'd be very grateful.
Another scotch, Claude?
No, thanks.
You're not taking up hiking, are you?
Oh, spoil a good walk.
What are you doing then?
I'm searching for inspiration.
You what?
Just trying to see if I can find somewhere where that Charlie Blunkett might have penned a load of sheep.
Well, why don't you go and ask him?
Oh, yeah, brilliant. He'd be bound to tell me, wouldn't he?
Sorry I spoke.
Hey, hang on. Hey, that's not bad, that. If anybody wants me, tell them I'll be somewhere else.
Morning, Gina.
Hey, Maggie. What can I get you?
I'll have an orange juice, please.
He came in at opening time and he's been sat there staring into space ever since. I mean, I can't throw him out, can I? And upset Blaketon.
Well, he has just lost his wife. I'll go and have a chat with him. Hello? Do you mind if I join you?
Angel of Mercy.
I think you must have fallen for a nurse once.
My wife was a nurse. That's how we met.
Do you mind talking about her?
We met on an army hospital ship that brought us back from the war. By the time we got back to Southampton, we were engaged.
Sounds very romantic.
She was the only good thing that ever happened to me.
Do you have any children?
Yeah, I've got a son who, in Africa, he's a mining engineer. He's in the bush. He couldn't get back for the funeral. Sorry, I really should pull myself together.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
When Jean was around, everything was in perspective. I can't stand being the one who's left behind.
Ah, Bradley. I've had a word with Dr. Bolton. He's going to try and persuade Jim to get some proper help.
Good idea.
I just thought you'd like to know.
Thanks. Mr. Blaketon, is this Jim's car?
Aye.
I've been threatened. I've been accused. This is police harassment, isn't it, Ted?
It is.
Charlie, you know and I know that you've been nicking sheep. We've even got a witness who saw you delivering a wagon load of clawed green grass.
And you'll take the word of a conniving tyke like Greengrass before an honest, hard-working farmer?
Can I have a quiet word, Mr. Ryan?
I've got nothing to say to you.
Look, it's about something else. I just wanted to ask you if...
rank and number. Can't a man have a drink in peace without some puppy snapping at his heels?
For heaven's sake, Mr. Ryan!
If you have anything to ask me, laddie, you put it in writing to my solicitor. I don't have to answer their questions. Name, rank, number, that's all they're entitled to. Name, rank and number. What's your backstop?
Well, I suppose it might work.
Of course it will. Look, you said your lot wanted convictions.
Of course. On the other hand, there could be an awful lot of wasted manpower.
I know. Think of the overtime.
I'll have a word with Division.
See, I grow old. I'm still a savage.
See? He's been out here for ages, just talking to himself.
In the morning.
I don't know what to do, really.
Well, let's see if he'll talk to me.
I've forgotten Almy. I'm not going to forget you.
Hi, Jim. This is a friend of mine, Neil Bolton. He's,
just a friend.
Calling up reinforcements. Hey, Corporal.
I'll leave you to it.
Good NCO, Bolton.
I expect he was. A good friend, too.
Used to be. He's betrayed me, though. He thinks I don't know.
He betrayed you during the war?
Oh, yeah. He sold out to the Japs. That camera business, he thinks I don't know.
Tell me about your wife, Jim. Her name was Jean, wasn't it?
Being a soldier, there's only one way to survive. Identify the enemy and destroy him before he destroys you. You remember that, laddie. And you'll be all right. Off you go. Just do your best. That's all anybody can ask of you.
Good evening, ladies. Couldn't have a quick word with you, could I, Kath?
He's going to get away with it, isn't he? Just because he's friends with that ex-copper. I had to work the whole of last summer for that camera.
Look, nobody's going to get away with anything. I've just come here to talk to you about it, that's all. See if we couldn't come to some sort of arrangement.
You were right.
About what?
I read about it in the papers. You all belong to Masonic lodges, don't you?
Who does?
The police. It's all funny handshakes and rolled-up trouser legs, so you can protect each other.
Look, I don't belong to any Masonic lodge, and I'm not trying to protect anybody. I'm just trying to be fair, that's all. Now, are you going to listen to me or not?
Oh, well, I suppose so. As long as you buy us a drink.
I'm sorry, Oscar. I'm rather out of my depth here. I need to get in touch with the consultant psychiatrist at Ashfordley General.
Do you think he needs to be in hospital?
I don't know. He needs to see someone. But I'm really not qualified to make any kind of diagnosis.
So, what do I do in the meantime?
Keep an eye on him. Don't upset him. Try and persuade him to go to bed.
Yeah. Quite right. I think I will get my head down.
Well, I can make you some cocoa if you like.
Nah. I can't fight it. Don't you worry about me, Oscar. I'll be fine. Good night's rest.
I think you'll be all right tonight. I'll phone you first thing in the morning when I've sorted something out.
Thanks.
Well, Mr. Blaketon's willing to give me the money and I'll go out and buy you a new camera.
Provided I drop the charges.
That's up to you.
Why are you doing all this?
Well, I feel partly responsible. I mean, if I'd been mucking around with your camera...
Him, I mean.
I had an uncle who was POW out east. A quick, clean death would have been better, he used to say.
My dad never shuts up about what he did in the war. He had a great time.
Okay. I'll drop the charges.
Thanks.
What's up? Haven't you paid your petrol bill either?
You don't give up, do you, Claude?
Not when there's 40 quid involved, no, come on. Let's be having it.
You're getting out from me.
That's a pity, because I found your sheep. And I mean the other lot you've nicked. So you either pay me or I go to the coppers.
What, and get your send done for receiving? You've got no chance.
Haven't I? Well, you've just had your last.
Ted! Ted!
What?
Get them sheep shifted. Now!
Well, he must have left sometime in the night. He's taken his things, but his car's still parked outside.
Well, he can't have gone far, then.
I think I know where he might have gone.
Oscar, it's time we involve the hospital formally. This is... He desperately needs treatment.
Maybe so. But I've got to find him first.
Bet you're pleased to see me.
What do you want, Greengrass?
All I ever wanted was me 40 quid back. If you want to discuss it, you can talk it over with Charlie. You'll have plenty of time. About 6 months, I should think.
I hate to say this, but nice one, Claude.
Alf.
Ashfordley, please. Oh, right. Where? 2 vehicles. Was anybody injured?
I'm still 40 quid out, you know. I was wondering...
Just think yourself lucky you got away with it.
Thank you. Well,
Mike,
well,
I've just had Phil on the radio. There's been an accident back in the valley. First crossroad. Sounds quite nasty.
Right, I'll get down there.
I'll catch you up. Go on.
You all right, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. Get a hand off.
You've got a bit of a cropper.
Yeah, but I don't think anything's broken.
Let's get you to a quack. Hang on. Look at that. Could have knocked your block off.
You're lucky, it's just the ribs. You'll have to have an X-ray.
That's something.
What did you think you were doing, competing at the Isle of Man?
It wasn't an accident.
What do you mean?
Well, someone was clever enough to hit him at speed with a log.
An anonymous phone call to the station to report a non-existent road accident. I come tearing down the hill and... oh, bosh. Simple. Oh, but effective.
But you could have been killed.
A premeditated act of violence against a police officer. I tell you, Jim Ryan would never contemplate such a thing.
He was very angry when Mike arrested him.
Are you suggesting this is some sort of revenge attack?
It's more complicated than that. I think the death of Jim's wife has caused such a crisis in his life that the trauma of being a POW has resurfaced, and he's regressed back to that time. So in order to survive, he thinks he must identify the enemy and beat him at all costs.
How would young Bradley be his enemy?
He's mixing up the past and the present. Oscar, he already thinks you've betrayed him.
Me? How?
By offering to pay for that camera. That's how paranoid he's become. He's decided everyone's against him.
Look, all this psychological mumbo-jumbo might mean something to you. But that man has been a friend of mine for 25 years. Are you telling me that counts for nought?
The dog section's coming over, Sarge. Division wants a full search.
Right. Hang on. Well, he took everything else, but the dogs might get a scent off that.
Thanks, Sarge.
Try Miller's Beck. It's a favourite place of his.
I just feel really tired all of a sudden.
It's the shock. Try to relax. I'll go and make you a nice cup of tea.
Thanks. Maggie, do you really think it was me he was after?
Yes and no. You were his target, but it was nothing personal. He's a very sick man.
Feels pretty personal to me.
Oh, mate, I want to see Michael.
He's had an accident, Claude.
He's not the only one.
What's going on?
Oh, Michael. Hey, you know that bloke in the Blue Rover I told you about who saw Blunkett bring them sheep? He just nearly run me over.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I was there. He's a lunatic.
Yeah. Don't I know?
If you ask me, he's long gone now.
He's got nowhere to go. The drama he's invented for himself has to be played out here.
He left the village on the Ashfordley Road, so he could be headed up toward Whitby, or he could have turned off onto the moors.
Right. I'll put out an alert.
Come on, Claude. For goodness sake, think! Was Blaketon in the car with him or not?
Well, I didn't see Blaketon, but then again, I weren't looking for him, was I?
Why hasn't he called us? I better get over to the post office.
I'll drive you.
The light will be gone soon. I think we'll have to call it a day.
Look, I'll take a look around here. You check the pub, see if anyone else has seen him.
Right.
Oh.
Over here! Okay, okay. Okay, thank you. Are you all right, Sarge?
What do you think, Winchester?
Bloody stupid dogs, they're useless. They kept running straight by me.
Are you hurt?
No, he just brought me up here and dumped me. I tried to talk to him, but you were right, he's beyond reason. It's Bradley he's after. I think he's out to kill him.
Jim! What on earth do you think you're doing?
Is that you?
Jim! Did you hear what I said?
Where have you been?
Look at the state of you. Jim, let go of him. Let him go. You must be very tired. Why don't you come with me? Come on.
So what's he like?
It's not good.
Oscar, I haven't seen you for years. I've got to go home now.
Hey, Sarge. Remember, you've not been in a fight yet. You didn't win.
Still don't know why you need 2 weeks on the sick. You look pretty fit to me.
Doctor's orders, mate.
Neil Bolton? How many pints had he had?
So what do you reckon? Think she'll like it?
You never got Blaketon to shell out for this.
Well, no, not entirely. I thought a week in the lakes with a pretty girl. Be quite nice to have some photographs to remember it by.
Jammy beggar.
Hiya, Mike. Sorry I'm late. All right.
It's okay. I just been showing Phil your new camera.
Oh, wow. Oh, it must have cost a bit.
Oh, well, just call it compensation.
Oh, cheers. You know what? I'm glad you turned out to be a policeman, not a rocker.
Did I ever tell you? I used to be a rocker.
Really?